Hello and welcome. It is crypto day. It is, for me, a little after 8 p.m. Eastern time, 8th day of June 2018. I'm on coinmarketcap.com. We'll take a look at just the little basics of this web page. Most people should be familiar with this page watching this video. Go over code extra bytes. Go over the code Litecoin Cash, go over the market cap chart and the Bitcoin dominance. But before we do that, we can see in here, there's all the basic stats, the market cap, the price, the volume, circulating supply. Bitcoin now over 17 million as this number continues to grind higher. Of course, it's got a fixed limited supply. You just click on it. It'll tell you how many. The max supply is 21 million. So there's a little under 4 million Bitcoins left to go. Okay. That's nice to know. So you can get a little bit of different stats here and there. If you go to view all, you will see its performance not only throughout the last 24 hours, but even more longer and shorter term, the last single hour and the last 7 days. Bitcoin up 1.6% last 7 days, but down 1.76% since this time yesterday. And it's lost 2/5 of its of 1% of its value in just the last 60 minutes. $92.12. You can put these in different currencies. You can put them in Bitcoin, which Ethereum, which is the main trading pair. So if you want to see these codes for analysis for such, that can be a very common thing to put it in. You can also put in Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, as well as Litecoin. And as we can see here, that just over the last week, Bitcoin Cash up 20%. Impressive. Ethereum very, very well. Up almost 12%. And then we can see some others like number 7 and number 8. Cardano down 8.5. Stellar Lumen down 12 1/3 of 1%. A lot of them had some good gains beforehand. We're not going to look at too many of these individual codes. Rather, let's start this off within Bitcoin dominance. This is the chart we have here. We have overlapping, we have stacked. What's the difference? I don't know. I think I've took all these things up. I've already eliminated all of them because I like to look at it with just the main Bitcoin one in itself. Because as this thing started off through, well, its beginning, 95% for Bitcoin, 5% for everything else. This thing was always staying high, but alternate coins would keep on having it stay. This consistently been making lower lows. We have a lower low here at 87. Then it goes down to like 79 at 78 even. And then last year, there's the end of February, falls, making a significant lower number. 40% under that. And then we have this going higher. Alternate coins, and this has been the story for them, as it was like, yeah, basically at the end of February, start of March to basically June, alternate coins were just kicking ass amazingly. And then they started selling off, as we can see, basically until the end of November. December was a very bullish month for alternate coins into January. And then it's been cooling off, and it's been grinding a bear market as Bitcoin dominance goes higher, starting to go down. But as far as these lows are concerned, yes, we had this 78, and then just a 39 after that, 38, whatever. This low here, 33. Well, what about these highs? We have a high here at 95, then at 94. Then here it gets up to about 91 and change. Then it gets up to about 87. Then we got up to about 60. So right as of now, it's gotten up to 45.1. but it's been trending lower. I can highlight just what I want to look at, which is what I'm going to do here. So therefore, when I'm looking at this, there was this the down move from the alternate rallies, bringing this down. The alternate coin's been grinding lower throughout the entirety of this year, basically. And then things changing roughly at around the start of April. Alternate coins starting to rebound a bit against Bitcoin. And we can see this through this chart here. Now, I'm not a big fan of total market capitalization, excluding Bitcoin, so I'm not going to analyze it. For I would like to see how alternate coins do against Bitcoin. So I'd like to see a chart on how it's like not really market cap, but its percentage gain against that of Bitcoin. So maybe it's market cap in Bitcoin type thing. So is it overperforming or underperforming Bitcoin is what I'm looking at. But really, this is one of the better charts to do it. Was within the dominance chart. Now this chart is really small, so I'm going to have to push this button, and then I will get a better full view scale. See, if I look at this in linear fashion, it looks like nothing happened back in here. Almost like a hiccup of some sort here, but that's about it. Another hiccup here. Log scale. Okay. That's the log scale. So it's been in a continuous uptrend. It's obvious to state that, okay, oh, here's this top where Bitcoin got to 1,000 for the first time. And then it pulled back after the Mt. Gox incident. And then it's been going up for several years. So I don't really need to show any more of what happened in 2016 and really into 2017. I can see where it came from. Its last big resistance point was market cap 176. I can see this low has gotten down to like not even that. So it still hasn't came back to where it came from. But I'm just going to highlight this. It didn't get everything that I wanted, but I'll just fix it now. There we have it. So price action's last big resistance level, roughly at around September the 1st of 2017, was in that of $177 billion. 177. It had a pattern where it made a few lower lows, lower highs. I'm just going to highlight this bear market. And as we can see, there is what the pattern looked like. Really just made one leg lower here, retested that level with a higher low, but then finally broke it, so made another leg. But then it obviously corrected that move a little well. I'm going to give it some more data. And as you can see, it kept going from there. And then the market tops in January the 7th. Market cap 817. But if I want to see, if I really wanted to know what the highest price is, I could just highlight in towards the highest price areas, and I can pretty much get a good calculation. This number says 835. I think I got a sneak peek at 835, 510, and up here 835, 692. So we're looking at about 836. That would be what the top would be at. But we notice how things have been moving. It's been in this downtrend, making all of these lower highs and lows. I could draw whatever lines, but it's obvious to tell, oh, here's the bottom, and here, that's where the lowest price is. It's been rallying since then, making higher highs and higher lows. So therefore, when we scan this out to where we stand now, nothing has changed yet to revert the trend. We can see here that the top occurred on about May the 5th. So a lot of the alternate coins and coins in general have been going down a little bit. But the last key low, looking at it via market cap, is still below, is still at around, well, this, whatever this number is here, it's like 408. And if you're waiting for like, okay, like where do you keep putting stop losses? Okay, always below the last key low. Well, we can see you had this one, then you make a new one. You just ultimately, it's been making a lot of them in a row, and nothing has changed to really show that this uptrend that has been going on for the last month and change is coming to an end at all. So I like the progression that we are seeing within such. So let's finish off within that and look at a few charts. We'll look at the next one as Litecoin Cash. I'm going to use the search tool. I'm going to put LCC in to find it. Priced in at 1,873 Satoshi, or 17 cents. And for 10 of them, because you got 10 per Litecoin you had, if you ever did actually ask for them, quote unquote. But well, that's basically get them. Not the most enjoyable thing to do, but it can be done. Anyway, $1.71 per Litecoin. That's close to 1% of a Litecoin value. That's not good. Remember, one of the things I was saying before this came out is that it would just go down, down, and then probably trade. I was guessing around, I think somewhere around this number, like 1,200 Satoshi, 800 Satoshi, something tiny. And that's exactly what it's doing. This is a chart. This is its chart, but it's linear, of course. So let's put log scale on. And when a log scale chart looks like this, that just shows you how much it's been getting its ass kicked. And within such, this was a fork to Litecoin. YoBit seems to trade all of the forks the earliest. And maybe if this case, people were buying this up at insane large prices. I'll put the US dollar on here as well. But they were buying it up at like $5. Like, this was insane. $7. And who were the people that thought it was such a great investment idea to be buying it at those prices, and is now currently trading at 17 cents? And it was as low as, well, a lot lower, 14 cents. It's just a real, I don't know. The idea of having, well, no, it's 1,596 different cryptocurrencies out there. That's a lot. But anyway, so where do we see this being traded right now? I've never heard of the Market Talks exchange. Like I stated, YoBit seems to get them all first. I don't trade, or I've not been on Crypto Bridge or South Exchange, XRadix. I don't trade on Trade Satoshi nor BrazilX. South Exchange, a lot of them I've just never even heard of. Let's go on to Extra Bytes. Currently in at 727 Satoshi, or 6 2/3 of a penny. Down 9% against the dollar, down 7% against Bitcoin over the last 24 hours. So this is a chart. Again, I'm going to want to put this on a log scale. But when you put this on a log scale, it doesn't look the greatest, because of this really fast move going from like nothing basically to something. You can just pull a little bit out, but this happened a little over a year ago, so year to date fixes it fine. No, 1 year rather, excuse me. So this is the market that I've been involved in, but obviously I've talked about this for over 1 year now. Let's see what these exact numbers happen to be for some Fibonacci levels. So if I want to see a high, what I'll do again is I'm just going to highlight like that, because that's where the high is. And then I'll do it again. $5,710. 5734 even. That's what this market was bought up to. It has not been higher than that. And why people buy at these prices up top, so be it. Now we want to find the low. Well, we can do the same thing down here. Got a low at 167, December the 1st, 2017. So therefore, let's calculate some key levels. Fibonacci retracement high divided by low to the exponent of Fibonacci minus low. And the exponents are 0.236, 0.382, 0.618, and 0.764. These are the results. 2049 is the 76.4 number. 1485, 61.8, and then the big one at 645. So let's first examine the 2500 number coming from this high. 2500 is above this line. So how did that number react amongst this time frame? Well, it missed it on the first level, but then 2500, we can see it was supported, but it didn't go up. It stayed at that 2500 for a little bit, but then when it fell and it finally left that area of 2500, well, now we're going to that 1489 or 1500. There's 1500 right here. So it bottoms at 1500. It rallies up to like, there's the 1455 hit, piercing extra, and then rallying up close to 1800. And then after that rally to 1800, it just kept falling. So when that happened, when 1500 was reacting as it was doing within such, finding very little support and then having a big down leg lower thereafter, as we can see, 1400, then 1319, 1310, 1133, 1172, 1000, piercing below 1000, and then it had a little bit of a rally. And then after that little bit of a rally, where does it rally up to? 1723. So this is the Fibonacci right here, just near the top of this area. So it pierced extra, thus on a actual ABC style move, it resisted it, not supporting it for a big move. And then when you've retested this previous low of about 1000, which is significantly noticeably in between of both of the next key Fibonacci points, because the one lower is 645, and I would be very, very surprised today talking to you if it does not have at least a small pierce, but at least to it. But I would expect it to pierce below it because it's continuously went lower. We can see that this leg lower to 1,000 had a leg lower at 800. Looking at just this in here, there's the 800 support. Has a little bit of a rally, comes back close to 800, has a bit better of a rally, but still not great. And look at how when it goes down to 8,000 on the, well, 1st of May, it just stays there for like almost a week. And then something interesting just happened yesterday. It had a huge fall, leaving this area down to a little north of the 650 mark, but rallied right back to 800, and it's gotten immediately rejected. It rejected it back pretty close to where that big low was. It has now rallied since, but it still is rallying to the point where it's looking as if it's just going to have its eventual move soon to go below that 600 variable, or around 600, because below 645 is 610, 622, 550, 500. Those are all key levels. Next level below 385 I don't think is going to be really in play. I'd be very I will think that 500 is very risky for a buy order, where I think if it pierces below 645 it should go below into like the 500s, 570, 580, 590. But that's what I'm looking for, is to be able to get in a purchase below 600, or very low 600 as a price point. Now for the markets that this is traded on, Cryptopia, C/CEX, CoinFalcon. I don't like C/CEX, and I haven't traded on there for well over half a year. So they were just really bad because they were a lot of times down for like, well, they're adding a new coin, just something on their system for like, could be hours, consistently several times a week. Cryptopia, that's where you can get the most volume from. And CoinFalcon. I got a buy order, not partial buy order fill, at the price of 5,000 Ethereum for CoinFalcon. Now the price against US dollars, as we can see, is on this column. If we put the price in Ethereum, I can see that it's going for about 89.23. So for me to get a buy order fill at the 5,000 price means that I've already gotten a little bit of a decent deal already. And I'll just keep on putting it, like I got buy orders and sell orders. Well, I only got one buy order in, and that's at 5,000 Ether. I do not have an extra bytes Bitcoin buy order. And a lot of that is because when the markets have made its low moves, not only with this code, but so many others, that it oftentimes stabilizes at key bottoms, which means you have lots of times to get there. As we can see here, look at all the time you had from like November. You had all of November to get into extra bytes. And they even got you on December 1st. They gave you the best deal at the 170. But that's my whole thinking, as I really don't need to have those extra bytes buy orders. So what I would do is, if I see the price action fall below 600, probably take a handful of Litecoin and a nice fractionally small amount of Bitcoin, and send them over to Cryptopia and buy myself some XBY. Because I was selling XBY for a good amount of, a few dozen Litecoin, really. I got a few dozen out of it. Or a couple, two or three. And some Bitcoin I've sold a lot. I have well less than 8% of the amount of extra bytes that I've once held before. So I realize I'm on the buyback. These Fibonacci levels usually hit all the things that it's planned like it normally would, is doing such. That's why I'd be very, very surprised if this was to bottom anywhere near the price action set now without even having a move closer first to the 640 area. And usually, way more times than not, when you're moving down to a key fib level, it's going to go a little bit extra. As is the case when it's moving up to a key fib level, it will go a little bit higher extra more times than not. And it's important to know that if you're using that to decide, oftentimes if you want to buy at the kilo fib levels, well, if it's at 640 and it usually goes lower, couldn't I get it closer to 6? That's why I say to myself, and I'm thinking, yes, that's what I'm doing for that. If you have an area where, okay, Fibonacci says selling at 1795, okay, let's go 1800 and something, maybe 1920, because oftentimes you'll just get that number as well. If, of course, you'd get the first one. All right. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.